There's no need to be nervous. We just have 2,000 people online.
Don't tell her the numbers.
Hello, guys. I forgot. I was showing my screen, but I don't have my mic on. So we're going to do that again. Bye, guys. And I'm always with Leo every time. So for this
Thank you.
episode, we have different guys from different countries. So the first one would be Lightbringer. Is from State 51. His alliance is Lost Legend, and he is from United Kingdom. Our second panelist will be Revi. Revi is from State 296. His alliance is Hell, and he is from Ecuador. And we have Serial. He is from State 321. His alliance is MVP, and he is from Mexico. And then we have Falcon, the famous one in Collab Discord. It's from State 86. His alliance is Phoenix, and then his country is from Spain. So, hey, say guys, say hello to our 20 people watching on YouTube.
Hey everyone.
Hey,
So for this episode, I will be having Leo to handle the questions, and I will be chipping in on my opinion on what's happening around. Take it out, Leo.
Yeah, welcome everyone to the podcast. And today's discussion is between like three or four topics. The first topic is customer service, as we all know. So, and second one is heroes, and which is like with Wacko or without Wacko, which is the talk of the town right now between the states. And then we have like discussion about the trap plus the PvP. So the players who knows the new battle mechanics. So first of all, we will start with customer service. So it's just basically how is your experience if you open a ticket regarding any of the issues within the game, and how long does it take them to respond back, and how is the experience? Just that's the only thing. So who will start? Yeah, Ravi.
hey, a lot of different kind of time responses depending on what platform in the customer service the game. Like there's like look for the problem that you can frequent at asked
Questions.
questions. So they usually would have like uh, bugs, bug problems, and inappropriate player picture, and some things that we might have like thought tab especially for Reservoir League since people complain so much about it. Reservoir, uh, what is that?
Yeah, they added a new tab.
Yeah, for specifically these events, and there's like,
Okay.
but I when they're matching up people, when the pairing starts, but and for instance, an alliance filled with Plasma 5 and 4 against Plasma. But yeah, like a lot of options that make it very easy to reach out for the help and support from the game. If you do it that way, they would maybe like organically respond like at 5 minutes of the started conversation, even like 24 hours, no matter the day. But for instance, I did that with like in a lot of times in different platforms. In Facebook, they have their response guy too, but it takes like 4 or 5 hours. It's a little bit longer. Or in some cases, it has like one delay response. There was in that platform. It was the first time I ever did that, but it took me so long. It was so lagging. I didn't wanted to like go again just to like and they would ask like super simple stuff and it would take like 1 day, so it was kind of like I didn't want it to do that again.
So basically, they are gathering the information and then they never get back to you on time.
Yeah, but I think it's because the they are not the front part. They are just like an alternative way of speaking
Communicating.
to. Yeah, because like you can easily talk to anyone in the frequent asked questions on the game, but on Facebook they might not have so much maybe people employed for doing that. I don't know. And in Instagram, it's hell. Like I never got a response there. I tried once, never again. Just in the but by the way, I'm meaning in the private conversation part. In the posts, they actually can like talk sometimes, but they still not do it as much because they have a lot of people like asking stuff. So
Okay, so
about the
you are
yeah,
sort of saying that help and support in game is the fastest one, not the
sort of.
Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, yes. That's the response time there, the lapse they have.
Okay,
Yeah.
very.
Mhm.
So what's your experience when you have opened a ticket and did you got your resolution about the question you asked, or is it just the automated answers delaying the response?
Well, you mean the solution for the problem that for any problem that I could be presenting?
Yes.
So in that way, it goes both ways because it might be an impossible one, a very big one, or just a little one, like just one player doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So in the case of reporting, for instance, players, which is like a thing here, especially for SVS when people like come with spies to different states and they like maybe you would get like a person saying something that you didn't like and it was very offensive or something. You can report the person or even the pic that the person have if it's like nudity or something like that.
Okay.
And in the way of profile reporting, it is possible, and we have had like good solutions for it. but just in the case of picture reporting. In the case
Okay,
of
so
there was one. Uh-huh.
that is just the basic, like you're reporting a player with the nudity profile and uh, harassment or anything. That is just a
Yes.
basic thing. I think we are more interested in how you are contacted them for any of the resolution regarding the in-game bugs or anything, and the response you got.
Okay. Yes. In that way, first before you get to the devs, you have to choose the option that you want to attend. So if it's like a bug, for example, you first would tell what type of bug it is. After the first option, you get like 10 other options,
Mm-hmm.
and you will always get at the last option one that says other if it's something that it's not of importance for the other options. And it is very cool because they would respond like at 5 minute like at a 5 minute lapse, and they would like made you, like you said, a ticket, like, hey, okay, I'm gonna get they would say like, okay, I'm gonna attend to this problem, or they would like actually say, oh, people have been bringing this up, yes, we're doing that. Or in sometimes people could be like wrong about a bug, and it's not really a bug, it's just like uh, they might not have known something about the game, they would tell that too.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases it's solved, in others it takes like 1 to 3 days, in others it's not solved. And in some others, when people report so much, they would even get an announcement about it, like saying, okay, we're fixing this bug, this has been done, you have been asking a lot about the merger, saying that to the whole to all the SOS family. You've been asking this for the Reservoir League. The red dot thing has been solved. Like everything that would be reported there in mass, they would put in a general mail for the system tab.
So basically, you're saying that you are satisfied with the response which you are opening a ticket.
Yes, in a general way, I am.
Ah, good. Yeah, Mauricio.
Yeah, in my opinion, in-game customer service is really good actually. You have responses like in 5 minutes, and there are like plenty different ways to contact the customer service. You can go straight to your profile picture, and then you can go to help and support, and you will be like given like several different options. Like if you want like common questions or something like that, and then if you don't choose one of those, you can go to other, and you will be straight contact to one person there, and it will respond like literally in 2 3 maybe 5 minutes at like top. And also you can go from the information office in your settlement, and if you don't want to go there, you can go like the little guy who is walking inside your settlement. You can also contact custom service from there. So in my opinion, yes, they are really efficient when it comes to solve some like questions about in-game. But when it comes like to social media, I also agree with that. In Facebook, they take like 2 3 hours, and most of the time you are contact to a moderator first, and then after that, if he cannot solve your problem, you will be redirected to custom service. And also, for Instagram, it's a total failure. I also agree. I never got a response there. It was like really bad. They never got a response, and I don't think they have people attending in Instagram anymore. I'm not sure about it. And but like for example, if you lose an account, like you lose like your login, you can contact like custom service, and all you have to do is like give your name in game, then the amount of bios that you used to have before, like if you have like pictures or screenshots from a previous purchase you did, you can also send those screenshots, and they will help you like really straight away, like to get back to your account. So in my opinion, yes, they are really efficient in that way. And also, like for example, um, the questions that they add in the custom service, they're really good. Like the articles they added, they really cover up like most of the issues you have to ask. But yeah, and that's my experience about it.
Oh, nice. Lightbringer, how about you?
Um, I'm going to try and keep this as polite as I can. I feel like I'm playing a very different game to these people.
We are.
Every experience I've had with customer service has been negative, bar one. There was one time, and it was a long time ago, where there was a bundle I purchased that I didn't receive. I contacted them, and they replied within about 10 minutes. That's the only time I've received a response in less than 2 days, ever, in any way, shape, or form. Are we sticking specifically to in-game customer service, or can I discuss the matter of GMs as well for the VIP players?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as general customer support goes, it's generic, it's dreadful. Maybe on one or two occasions, I've had a response that wasn't a template thing, and on those occasions, it was wrong information anyway. They specifically told us before the Reservoir League when I complained about the Wacko situation, which I won't go into too much detail now because that's a later subject. But the response given was that Wacko was locked. We didn't have to worry about him being linked. Resonated to any of the golden legendary heroes, which was just false information. Obviously, they meant that it required 100 fragments to unlock that,
Yeah.
but they had half of the information and gave it out half-cocked. They just don't have a clue. They have no experience in anything game-related, no game knowledge. The GMs for the VIP players, same situation. They have no information. They don't know the game at all. And I've corrected GMs on things before myself. I've given them information that was released by Teddy on announcements, and they're asking me, "Where did you get that information?" Well, we didn't know about that because they've gone away and they've checked it with the devs and found out I'm right, and they're wanting to know how I knew. I
Oh my gosh, it got me in trouble.
sorry.
I was just like that. Well, I was just like joking with you when I said it got me in trouble.
That got you in trouble
Nope.
for
No,
announcing
no, no,
something.
no,
No.
no, no,
She's just.
no.
It's a ridiculous situation where, I mean, going back to the GMs, there's four of them. One of them, well, there's four that are assigned to the VIP players, or were initially. That was dropped down to three as one of them was taken off of that. They are assigned to different kinds of players based on nationality and language. I'll be honest, anytime I had a problem for a while, I was sending the same thing to all three just to try and get a response quicker. And
Mhm.
what I found unintentionally was that all three would give a different response.
Oh my god.
I'm not talking like slight variations, just completely different. One was the kind of response that you would expect to be a copy paste thing, a template. One would have information that you would think would be an answer to your problem, and then a third would give a completely different answer.
Yeah, it
Um,
also like so many players have opened the ticket for their chief gear materials before the launch of the update for all the states with the red gear. I guess no one got a response for 1 day, I guess.
Oh, for the quantity of materials, you mean?
Yes. Later they
Um,
updated given into the backpack itself.
yeah, they have put it in the backpack now, which I think is fantastic. They've finally done the logical thing that should have been done right from day one.
Yeah.
Except they still haven't put the what they're called now, the badge tags.
Oh yeah, mercenary badges.
Everything in there. The mercenary badges are there, but not the medal tags. So half job again. As far as getting information about how many materials I had, that is something that I got a response to a day later from a GM when I asked them. My players asked how they can find out. I told them they had to ask customer services, and they did get replies from that 2 or 3 days later. There is actually one thing that I asked one of the GMs, probably pushing more than 2-3 months now. It was regarding the Reservoir Raid score for the players because there was something I found very odd. I won't waste time going into the specifics about it, but essentially, my score was significantly lower than a few other players, despite being at the time the only max player with significantly amount more troops. And the response I got was telling me how to gather water in the Reservoir Raid.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I tried so hard not to lose the plot with him, but I explained to him that I've been playing the game for pushing a year and a half now, and I think I know how to do that. What I was asking, which I provided screenshots for, with circles around the numbers and arrows to make it as clear as possible, because I understand sometimes there's a language barrier. And I got, what was it he said? There's something about looking into it for me and asking the devs. And I went back to him several times asking about it, which was ignored completely, no response. And then I got to him a few weeks after that about something different and got a response a few days later. But regularly, the so-called exclusive VIP representatives are generally slower in replying to the players than customer support. Granted, customer support only give template answers, or maybe they're too busy with the newer states actually giving real service. But in my experience, I don't bother with the GMs anymore because they're slower. It's often taken me 3 days to a week to get a reply from them. Whenever they come back, it's, oh, sorry, I was on vacation. I'd love to have their job because they're never at work. There's been a couple of times where they've apologized and said, I've had a real conversation with one of them, one that isn't supposed to be from my nationality, as it goes, but she has less people to cover, and she's explained to me. I think this was Jessie. She's explained to me that the problem is they're just completely overwhelmed, which is understandable. They've got 3 people catering to how many VIP players now? What kind of service and support are they going to be able to give in that situation? They created a server for the VIP players to give suggestions and chit chat, and it was supposed to be exclusive updates, a heads up sort of thing, I think. And they just it's a free for all in there. They don't manage it, they don't read it, they don't take any suggestions, because the few GMs that are supposed to be covering all of this have no time whatsoever to even look at that, because they've probably got at this point hundreds and hundreds of VIP players sending them messages when they've got issues. How are 3 people going to be dealing with all of that?
It's the same like it's same like our official Discord also. You given the suggestions and they put it uh, by monthly or by weekly nowadays. Uh, Still there is no proper response regarding the developers' feedback also, how they communicate when the update is going to come, what What
No,
are the features they are implementing?
communication is dreadful. It is an area. I would honestly put that before even state mergers. Communication is absolutely appalling. It really is. Where they've improved since there was massive complaints about communication, and they do now put more information on the update notes when they send you the mail with some gold hero badges that everybody needs. They do give more information now, but still, every time there are things you find that have changed that you haven't been told about, and it's a guessing game. And it's exactly the same in the PTR server. When you're going in to test something, you'll get an announcement maybe half a day after it's been opened or something, telling you this is primarily what we are testing. What about the rest that you didn't tell us about and we've had to go and find?
That's the basically last PTR they announced that there is a new event for infected gas station, and it's between 10 states, and they have already released to 1 to 10 states. We were already testing it for, I guess, 3 days, and they just launched it without any info. And now
Is that the
it's
most
full of,
recent one?
yeah, the most recent one, and it's full of bugs.
Right, I didn't manage to get onto that one personally. The main game before you even fill that survey in. So what's the point? They pay no attention whatsoever.
Yeah. So that's really overwhelming, I know.
Is it more along the lines of the experiences you have?
Uh, I had really bad experiences, but I have never contacted customer service because I know I was not going to get any answers, because I knew that this is the bug and they are not going to fix it, because most of the events and features are first given to state one. And whenever I reported it, because I know my state doesn't respond to anything, like they don't really care. So I am the only person from the state one who was reporting bugs and everything about the events, and they don't listen. I have, like, several times I have opened the ticket also, then I gave up, and they launched the same thing to the other states also. And then when
Yeah, they're in
people
a rush to
all
get people buying.
yeah all people complain, then they focus on that. So it's the same.
They're always in a rush to get the next thing out, push it out,
Yeah.
get people buying it or pre-buying it, and then maybe if it causes enough problems, they'll fix it on the fly. But if nobody causes uproar, then
Yeah,
hey,
they
it was
fix
good enough.
the
And
they
that just seems to be the attitude. It's good enough.
They really fixed the metal tags, the metal tags bundle in 500 plus states. They were
Oh
getting
yeah,
yeah,
they fix that pretty quick when when they see
yeah.
someone's getting something cheap. It's amazing what they can do. Like what was it? The Kamoti Town event where everybody got the permanent skin and except for the top 200. Or was it less
Oh
than
yeah,
24 hours for it to be taken away from everybody that shouldn't have got it and for those top 200 to get it? I mean, okay, fair enough. They didn't win it according to the rules, but in my opinion, personally, one HQ skin costs nothing. It literally costs nothing to them. What
yeah,
they should have done, what I would have done if I was in their position, would have let everybody keep one and let those in the top 200 that have earned that one get a second one. Because what does it hurt? It would have kept everyone happy. Job done. Um, but it's amazing how quick they can react when something doesn't work in their favor. But then you get a situation like the march interface, the banners, the preset formations, and I was informed by somebody, I won't say who, but it was somebody in the know that the devs play it daily, the game, and most of them hated the march interface as well. And yet it still took them more than 3 months. The problem wasn't even where the formation buttons was. It was the useless banners that come up all the time. And yet they insisted on keeping those banners and just moving the preset formations. Not even making anything new. They did a copy paste from one of their other games.
yeah. KOA.
Yeah, and why did that take as many months as it did for them to do something so basic? I'm not a coder or a programmer or anything like that, but if they already have the code for that interface, how hard can it seriously be to integrate it into another game that they've got? It shouldn't have taken the time it did, but they prioritized, like they announced even themselves about state mergers. They decided to prioritize the second season of Reservoir League. This thing with Daryl and The Walking Dead crossover, and I don't understand what their game is here, but they seem to be adjusting everything to be time related. Everything is so time consuming now. Regarding the Daryl event, um,
Yeah, it's pretty
the
long. Yeah,
Negan,
it's like
yeah,
150
It's
days.
totally
Like
true.
yeah, to do the Daryl event, it takes a bit of time, but then it's not only that you've got Migo where you've got to be in and logging in every few hours if you want to stay on top. You've got to now with this new gas station thing, you're going to be sat there for hours pointing your little arrows at a flashing red spot on the infected. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
okay, let's move on to Falcon about his experience with the customer service.
Sure. Well, I think I've got a little bit of everything about customer service, though I've only tried the in-game support. I've contacted them about some doubts I have about the game, or one time there was they changed the UI for upgrading the heroes, so I couldn't find how to do that anymore. So I had to contact them, and well, they explained it to me how it works. I'm contacting them for sometimes for bugs I found. For those times was more or less the most of the time less than a day they took to answer me. But I think the the story that's worth talking about is the last one I got. I contacted them about more of a week now about a package, a bundle I bought and didn't get anything. And I was doing a throwdown task too, so it didn't count for the task either. And well, they responded me like, I don't know, maybe an hour after. Well, responded. They sent a automatic mail to me with some resources and construction speedups, and that's about it. I responded that that doesn't work for me because I wasn't buying anything about resources. I don't need them. So, and well, I'm still waiting for the response. I write to them like daily and no respond in the chat. So yeah, I used to have like a good impression about the customer service, but this last one is like really, really bad.
Okay.
And yeah, I lost hope that they will respond anytime soon. So some money
no one has received any funny responses from the customer service. Like you can laugh about.
Yeah, I guess. Well, some money thrown to the trash directly.
Yeah, definitely.
I know the buying things inside the game is not worth it. Really, it's bad investment, but still, at least you're
All right,
somehow
thanks
getting
for that.
something.
So, even if I'm a content creator,
Yeah. Yes. Yes, Teddy.
I think we lost Teddy.
I think so. Yes.
Oh my god, she's fixing her mic maybe.
But well, yeah, that's it. I think. I don't know.
What
I
she
think
really
we have a
wants.
delay.
Oh, now she's here.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think it's my phone. I'm not really sure if it's my phone cutting
It's
off.
okay.
I need to restart, I think.
I
You
think you
guys
need
can't
to.
hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Can hear you okay now.
She went away.
Okay. We lost her again. Yes, Leo.
Yeah, so what she was about to say, I guess, is the topic about the harassment and the cyberbullying inside the game.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right. So I think as a content creator, I got an experience as well. I got all right. I got an experience, but so some of you guys know that I've got a lot of accounts, yeah. But one of my account, most of the players or even probably even the developers doesn't know.
Okay.
I think we
She's
just
gonna get.
lost her again. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop playing Migo, Teddy.
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you playing Migo, Teddy?
She's dropped off again.
Yeah.
She's here. I don't know what's happening with her connection, I guess.
Hello?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I need to repeat myself again, I think. Nadine is telling me it is because of the fiber cables problems in Vietnam as usual. As usual, it is the shark to be blamed in Vietnam. Every time there is an internet problem in Vietnam, people here always blame the sharks. So I'm blaming the sharks, I think, but it's not really. So I got an experience via customer service because I've got an account that I don't really show it on public. It's most one of my secret accounts that I don't use, and one of that account was being harassed in state 243. Like every day, I'm being harassed. I've been attacked by other players that King's Group is paying me money and everything and calling me names, and I have it reported to the customer service. And the only reply that I got is to block that person. And then I went to general Discord, and then that guy started slandering me there. I don't even know the guy. He was just slandering me for nothing, just because maybe he knows that I do videos on YouTube, and then he was calling me, be it on the state Discord, in our alliance Discord, or even in general Discord. And the only thing that GameScript did, believe me, guys, I'm also a content creator, but the only thing that they did to that person, mute the person for 3 weeks, and that's it. Nothing more.
That's really
I mean,
crazy.
Harassment and bullying in this game is something that they do not care about whatsoever.
Yeah.
In my state, there was someone a while ago that even got hacked once, and it took them best part of 3 weeks to get it resolved. They just don't care. They have zero interest, and that was a VIP player as well. But when it comes to people being harassed, bullies, people using swastikas in their name, how do they even let that be possible? They just don't. They're not interested at all in things like that. It's one of the worst examples of it I've seen online on any platform. To be honest, they're just not interested. As long as people are still paying, still playing, still doing their thing, they do not care if one person has a problem with someone.
Yeah, and they will hide everything behind like a game banter, and that's it. And they will not do anything else other than just mute a player maybe for 7 days, and even a mod can do that. Not even custom services. And yeah, I think this game sometimes may be like really toxic for some players because they do abuse of that, like being behind like a screen. They think that they can do everything that they want. They can say everything that they want, but they forget that there's another person behind that screen, and they just really don't care about it. They just say it's game banter, but cyberbullying and harassment in this game, it's something that is really big. At least in some states that I've played, I have seen it like being something big. And even in my state in 321, we had people like coming at like with races. You know, like you will think that in 21st century you will not see these kind of things, and we have had those kind of issues. And all that the custom service did was like to mute this player for 3 days, and that was it.
I have
I think it
accounts
is the
in
one of. Okay, go on, like. Go, like.
I have accounts in a few states. I don't do a lot of work in most of them. My main priority is State 51, but I've been on there mainly just to see what the differences are in different states and things like that. And I actually came across a player that was being bullied by a beast of a player, someone that spent a fortune, one of the whales, and was just wailing on their whole alliance, just leveling them out daily because the player that I was speaking to refused to send them nudes. And it was all in game, in chats, and it was reported, and they just don't care. They just suggest to block the player. Yeah, okay, it's a war game, but when they're trying to blackmail people in that sort of situation, that player, regardless of how much he has or is spending in the game, should be banned from it, in my opinion. It's just wrong.
Agree. I mean, regardless of how much you spend, I feel like some of this, because one of the players that was every day, I got reports from players like about this harassment, cyberbullying. It's not just about cyberbullying, like attacking them on the tiles or attacking them. It's another thing, like attacking them personally, or even uh, what you like, exposing personal information of those people, like to the point that what if that person is something not a good person and knows the personal information of another people of another person and started, we never know. But if this happens, it's just sad. This is one of the reason why I'm staying to be a content creator, and I put up this podcast because I wanted the voice of the players to be heard, because it seems like in just general discord we won't be getting heard there. At least in the internet, if people are going to stump on this podcast, they would know what are the things or the issues that are happening around. And I feel that for every day when I get reports or message from other people or other players telling me that they are being harassed, there is this someone, like I think there was someone telling people to kill themselves in their state chat one time, and it took a while for the game to block or mute that person. I don't even believe that person got blocked. Probably just only muted for a few days.
That's more than likely the situation. Yeah, I've never heard of someone that has been blocked from the game completely, and I've heard and seen a lot of vicious stuff going on in different states. I'm pretty lucky with the state I'm in. Don't get much of that. I think a lot of it, in all honesty, I didn't pay attention to the politics and state chat and all of that the first few months I was playing. I think a lot of it was kind of forced out of the state early on. But in a lot of states, the dominating alliances now are the ones doing that. And it's sad. I've never heard of anybody that's been blocked or kicked out of the game. They just get a mute, usually a couple of days or a week, and they come back and they can just keep doing it if they want. What's going to happen? Nothing. They get another mute. A week later, they can carry on as normal. That's not going to stop people that have that mentality.
Agree. I mean, even if that person, they would say that, even for example, if they will have an excuse of, oh, maybe if we are going to block them, they're just going to make another account. But yeah, that person might make another account, but setting an example, like blocking their accounts, regardless of how huge or small that account is, it means that you are showing that person that you are enforcing your rules in your game. But without enforcing it, just allowing it, like mute the person for a few days and return it, just making that person feel that, oh, then I can just repeat it every time because I only get muted and I can come back anytime with a new account.
It's just a slap on the
That's a
wrist.
very big
It's nothing
problem.
serious. And you say, they may come back with another account. Yeah, they might. But if a player's spent upwards of $10,000 or pounds or whatever currency you pay in, if someone's spent that sort of money in a game and then they get blocked, they're a lot less likely to come back into it.
In a way, yes, uh, but people can be uh, banned or blocked from the game in depending on what their comment was or their picture was. In the picture part, it's very easy to report and it's solvable. But I have the same experience with light that there maybe we have some people from an incognito account coming and saying stuff, and they won't get blocked for any reason. Even if you tried, even if you reported, nothing happens. Like that part can be. Uh, I think that in the customer service part, that part has failed us.
Yes,
Terry Jones.
I've seen even I got multiple accounts in all states, though they are dead now. I stopped playing with them. But for example, we got one on state 423, and I saw a guy that was harassing every girl in the state, basically. He was reported multiple times. We burned him to make him stop playing, but he was still there. So it's like nothing happens.
All of
Sorry
us
to
got
jump in. I'll just say as well, there's a problem with blocking when you are limited to blocking 20 players maximum. When I had that information, it was a while ago. I don't know if that's changed, but I haven't heard anything about it changing, so I assume it hasn't. There's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, particularly women, they put a picture of themselves on the avatar, which they have every right to do. They shouldn't have to put something different just because of the kind of crap that you get. Now, I've got women in my alliance in my state that have to put just random pictures of something completely non-sexualized to ensure that they don't get random messages from people in other states even regularly saying all sorts of stuff. And when you've got a limit of 20 people to block, okay, it's not just the pictures, but for any reason, there shouldn't be a limit on that, I don't think.
agree. I think Negan is here. I want to hear his opinion or experience or talk about anything about his experiments with customer service. Hi, Negan.
Teddy. I'm in a little loud environment. Let me get to the office in like 10 minutes and I can speak.
All right, take your time. I mean, so let's read some of the comments or the messages that I got from other people. There's this from Skyla. She sent me a message because she's supposed to be joining us, and I just realized that we are all boys today. We have no girls panelists. And she said, I contacted the service center of SOS like 20 times since January 2021. I always got something like a bot answer, no matter what issue I had, be it vanished troops, connection issues at the Capitol Clash on SBS, bullying, and other stuff. And then Monk said that the customer service has been nice at the beginning, but now it is probably the worst one I have seen in game. There used to be a response within 24 hours from which it was conducted, but now it is extremely disappointing. Even if you report a bug, the spokesperson would actually note it down, and if it was huge, you could get compensation, even if it was a small amount, but now it is not worth trying to contact them all. What do you guys can say about that?
I would say that the game grew more than they expected, and they didn't expand staff or support to go along with it.
And the other one said this, the game needs better support. They don't help when you need it and don't accept clear evidence in front of them. I think I can remember this. I got a message from one of the players. She's a spender, but she's using Apple, I think, iTunes or something. And she reported it multiple times about her purchases that weren't given back or didn't reflect to her account. And in return, they just given her some items that isn't or not even equivalent to the amount that she paid. Do you guys have that experience as well?
Yes, well, exactly.
Yes.
This last experience I got, like I was buying some hero year materials, and what I got for was some construction speed ups and resources. So nothing like what I was wanting to buy.
I I bought plasma, but it never got into the bag, or to the mail. So I was like, oh man, I just spent something without getting something in return. But I just started the game. I just rebooted the game and it was there. That's the only time I have had a problem like that.
Also, this is one interesting thing that I want to ask you guys. So I've been reading, or I've been getting a lot of messages, reading it from different Discord, that some players, or even me, because I got an account in State One, I am with Leo in BRI before he quit. And what is your opinion about uh, developers playing the game and boosting the events? Like, I don't know for what reason. Maybe for the reason to make players spend more or whatever. What is your opinion on that with developers playing games around different states?
It's an incredible idea because they wouldn't get the side of the player if they wouldn't. I was once thinking, what if I not play the game in some farm alliance that I have and just administer it, but in the perspective of a player, if it's like strong or small, it is necessary to know how they are feeling because that's the way you can keep them practically. And if the devs experience some bug that they see from the dev's perspective, but not from the player, that might be annoying for the player or lagging or something, they wouldn't pay attention to it. So in that way, is like a game tester. They are necessary for games. So yeah, it's for me it's perfect unless the dev uh, started to abuse their power and just put like a P5 with all red gear account just for themselves just because they can. In that way, I would complain. But if it's to like improve the game, it's okay. I think.
I also
Oh,
absolutely agree about that subject. And yes, if they will not use it and will just play in different levels, that can help other players very much.
Yeah, I also agree on that, that it could be a good idea, but the thing with the devs is that they oftenly don't hear us. And even if they have like a player perspective, they haven't done that much improvements. Like for example, with the trap, like with the notification, it was awful. And it took them like what, like 3 4 months of people constantly complaining about it to actually do something about it. So I think it's a good idea, but it will be even better if devs actually like take this information in count, like to make improvements.
Yes, I don't think I've encountered any deaths on any of the rounds I've played. But well, yes, it depends if they're going to use that power more or less to boost themselves and make the state to spend more, or if they're going to play, let's say it, fair and be like any other player. If it's the second one, well, yeah, could be at least that way they have like a player point of view. But I don't think that's the way they are going. So I think they're just creating accounts, boosting themselves, and pressuring other players to spend more and be on top.
one of the players said here that they also put a fine on your account for getting a refund for a pack you didn't get. What does that fine mean? It's not allowed you to purchase the same pack again? I didn't experience any purchases issues, but it's more of my items that ran out on my backpack out of nowhere. They just gone. But one of the players, I think it's a SPO, and said that they also put a fine on your account for getting refund for a pack you didn't get. Like probably he bought a pack and then it didn't reflect on his account, and then he was fined for that. And I
Oh,
also wanted to read the message of Black Mamba. She's actually listening on Discord, I think, and she said, customer service is laughable at best. I think for the amount of money that people have and continue to invest in this game, it would be nice if they focus less on prioritizing money grab events and actually fix bugs and server issues. If people aren't happy, why would they be motivated in spending money when their needs aren't being met or acknowledged? Very discouraging. You got something to say,
Yeah,
Leo?
It's true. Whatever she said, it's perfect in a way, but still, devs are winning. People are spending. People are still don't care about the gameplay, and you can see the amount of new states they are creating, and the people are going back into the new states. Like they are getting off from older states and getting on the new states and still spending. So I don't know why still people are playing the game and paying them if their experience is not that much good.
I feel like with the amount of marketing that the game made, especially for this The Walking Dead collaboration with them, and this rake up a lot of new players for their new states, I think it is filling up. Last time I checked, it's already at 750, probably even at 752 states now. And that's basically like not even 2 years of releasing their game.
I think I have an account in 659 or something, and that state is totally dead. Like they have like 100 people participating in CC. So I don't know why they are creating new states, and if they are not like growing or anything, they just keep on adding the states just for the money, not for the gameplay. And they have like different gameplay also for the different states. Their events are messed up, like the Migo event. Some states are there, some states are not there. They have also announced 2 weeks they are going to release Migo into the states which don't have. They changed the SVS schedule for the states last time who received Migo event, and now today or yesterday at reset, some of the states are getting supply hunting event out of the blue.
Yes, I
Yeah.
find it a bit messy and strange that the game has like 4 or 5 versions of it. That's like, I don't know. It's like complicating everything a lot. So like
from sorry.
yes, no,
No, keep going. Oh, okay.
no. Go ahead.
So yeah, about that, the game is money. Uh, the objective of the devs, and it is a little bit of a marketing part too. So so the game gets more money. If you see some thing that would like just make the player or the alliance better, and it implies to grow. Usually, the grow part means spend more. So yeah, it is intended as that. Group King's Group was made their platform for all their games. Besides the Intel Explorer, it's just the same, but without zombies. So they use this kind of psychology to make the person spend more. Like if you want more power, you have to spend more. And I know it sounds messed up, but in from the marketing perspective, it is very well done. Uh,
Yeah.
Sadly, and in the
Yeah.
part, someone said something about the Daryl Walking Dead part. What was the point, the perspective of why including him, like the SOS game, like the Walking Dead is the SOS game. It is because it is like just a marketing stunt. That's it. Like if it sells, it's there. And also in the, I think in the canon part, Daryl wasn't included. It's just in the series, so he can be out of that copyright and put it in. And legally speaking, it can be included in the marketing part of SOS, since he's like just a trademark for the series. So that's why we have Daryl as the representative character of SOS now.
Yeah, agree. I'm not really sure if Negan is back. Yeah. Are you back, Negan?
Yeah, it's
All right.
it's much quieter now here. Sorry.
All right. Welcome to the podcast, even if you're late.
Thank you so much, and hello everyone. So I guess
So,
on the topic of the new states, I'm pretty sure that the state creation is closely linked to a certain earnings algorithm per kind of previous states or the previous rollout of the states, which probably automatically computes, an average earning per state in certain range, and then tells the developers that there is a good argument for opening new states because, hypothetically speaking, more players will be pouring into the new states, and they probably want to divide them, across the states in order to avoid the concentration. Um, and that algorithm probably did not really change much, throughout a year or two. So I would actually understand Leo's concern where, in the states number 600, 700, you don't actually have a large number of the players representing the state, but rather a very small group of the alliances or, people logging into the game. And then KG is adding another kind of batch of the states on top of that. So I guess it's all automated. I don't think they're manually opening the states, just for the sake of it. It's rather an algorithm which tells them that they might get more earnings and they want to spread the people across the states. So I wouldn't fault them for doing that, because obviously, if you look at the game as it is now, and if you compare of what it was, let's say a year ago, we had quite a lot of concentration of the players in the older states, and that concentration didn't really help the states to grow and develop. So we probably went through the phases of reducing of the population, the burning, whatnot, players quitting, alliances, going through the friction with each other, and part of that was probably the overpopulation issue. So I guess opening new states allows the company to spread the people more evenly across the states and avoid at least some of the frictions that we would see that we would have seen initially in the game. I guess that's my opinion on that.
But I don't understand. The thing is, like, if you're creating a new state, why do you have to keep the battle mechanics? And that's the main part of the game when you start a new game, when you play. So why keep old battle mechanics for the new estates, and then after a certain age they give it out the new battle mechanics? Is it just another marketing stunt, or is it just like uh keeping players in the dark?
I don't know. Maybe there are probably several arguments for that from the developer side. The one argument I would see is that the players who have been initiated into the game, they're probably, you don't want them to probably dig into too much of the details, from the beginning. You want them to get hooked on the gameplay, the community part of it, the social aspect of the game first, and then slowly introduce kind of more details of the game to those players so that they start to understand the gameplay better. They so that they are able to run their own tests, and derive their own conclusions later on, right? And then kind of decide for themselves whether it's worth continuing to play or even there is a time to quit. But then another thing comes into play. You're started to get committed to the alliance, you start to get committed to your friends, and the decision to quit is probably harder, right? So, and it's not based just on the data that you see in the game anymore, right? So I guess the phasing of what we see in the game is probably because of that,